You talk about the greats. You have your Chris Martin, Coldplay, massively successful. So you get to have dinner with the people that you grew up listening to. And I'm curious, have you gotten advice from those people, you know, for whether it's a McCartney or a Bono or anyone, a Michael Stipe, any of those people?
Funny enough, I don't actually have dinner anymore. I stopped eating at 4, and I learned that from having lunch with Bruce Springsteen.
Really?
That's really true, yeah. Yeah.
What happened? You were having lunch with him and he said, after this, no more. That's it. I mean, what happened?
Kind of, yeah. You know, first of all, Bruce is in my equal top pantheon of heroes. And
a wonderful guy.
And I love him, and I love Patty, his wife. And I was lucky enough to go over there for lunch the day after we played Philadelphia last year. I was on a really strict diet anyway, but I was like, Bruce looks even more in shape than me.
Yeah.
And Patty said, he's only eating 1 meal a day. So I was like, well, there we go. That's my next challenge.
Did you see what that meal was? It's an 8-foot-long submarine. Hey, 1 meal a day. And then you see it's this giant vat of beef chili.
The chef came out and said, today we have flank of buffalo with a steroid sauce. Washed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do this when I've had the opportunity to sit with people who are heroes of mine. I find myself drifting out of my body sometimes to look at the experience from outside. I get a little self-conscious, and I've learned to pull myself back in and say, just be with this person right now,
for sure,
and talk to them. But it's hard to do when you're talking to a huge hero.
Well, I think for 2 reasons. One is we live in a culture where we celebrate people as much as criticize them. We also have our celebrities in that, and we're very much ingrained to sort of think of them as from another planet. So if you didn't grow up around that, like you didn't or I didn't, in some small part of you think, oh, Tom Cruise comes from another planet where everything's fine. Yeah. Of course, that's not true, but it's easy to fall back into that belief, even when you're sitting with someone. For example, with Tom Cruise, who I love his work so much, the first time I met him, I didn't say anything about being a fan because I was like, he doesn't need to hear this.
Right.
And then I realized, no, he's a human. So next time I was like, I love Oblivion or whatever it was. So I have to do that thing as well. It doesn't have to be someone older. It could be Adele or Harry Styles or anyone that I think is great. Sometimes I might drift into that almost worshipful fan, treating them as a bit of an alien thing. Yeah. But then remember, oh, this is a person and might even be my friend.
I love any moment where I get to see these. It doesn't happen often, but if I get to be around an icon and I just see that, oh, yes, they're dealing with the same stuff in their life as I am, that makes me very, very happy when I, have that experience. And my one with Bruce Springsteen was a number of years ago I did a charity event. He was the music, I was the host / comic. We both do our thing, and then we're sitting at this table together after we're done, and Patty's with him. And at one point, we're just talking about music, and this is going to lose me fans, but I inferred that I don't quite love the Grateful Dead as much as other people do. It's not quite my thing. Bruce, I hope this doesn't get him in trouble again, but Bruce was like, no, I kind of know, some of it's great, but then there's some of it where I go quiet. And then Patty said, I love the Grateful Dead. What are you talking about? And then I could just see, like anyone else who's with their partner, Bruce walking it back. And Bruce was going, I did not mean to imply that the Grateful Dead. And she was like, well, I think they did amazing stuff. How could you say? And I was like, again, I would like to state, I did not mean, and I was just so delighted that, oh, right, when I put my foot in it with my wife, this is what we do.